Vietnam is a country located in Southeast Asia, west of the South China Sea. However, the Vietnamese refer to it as the Eastern Sea. Vietnam's size is comparable to that of New Mexico and has two major cities, its capital, Hanoi, in the north, and Ho Chi Minh City in the south. In 1874, the French colonized Vietnam in hope that Vietnam would be economically beneficial for them. To fully exploit their economy, certain French officials thought it would be best to spread their language, culture, and religion. Missionaries attempted to spread Catholicism, and the Vietnamese were encouraged to either assimilate to the French culture or remain as low-wage workers. As you will see later in the video, these influences still remain present in Vietnamese culture. Currently, Vietnam is no longer under French control. Their current population is 91.7 million, and their natural increase rate is 9.53. Their total gross national income is $5,350. Their literacy rate is 93.4. Their infant mortality rate is 16, and their average life expectancy is 73 years old. Vietnam is a country rich in both folk and popular culture. In Vietnam, it is not abnormal to see multiple generations, sometimes even up to 4, living in one house. The traditional society is very paternal, and families are inclined to have many children. However, the paternalistic culture and large families are in steep decline. Despite this, females are still not allowed to shake hands with others, and children are not allowed to look their elders in the eyes. The Vietnamese typically dress for comfort and can be often found in dark, solid colors. Younger children will wear brighter colors, though. There are no specific preferences for leisure activities in Vietnam. However, they are often done as a family. Food is probably the most important aspect of Vietnam's folk culture. The Vietnamese believe that good food can bring peace and choose their ingredients based on what they are hoping the meal will bring them. While there are many popular eating habits, there are no apparent food taboos in Vietnamese culture. Rice noodles, and a fish-based sauce called nuoc mam are all staples in Vietnamese culture. Nuoc mam's popularity in Vietnamese dishes is comparable to salt's popularity in American dishes. The most common drink in Vietnam is tea, although coffee is also grown in Vietnam. The popular culture of Vietnam can be seen mainly through its booming music industry, known as V-pop. Vietnamese pop music was largely influenced by the American military's presence during the Vietnam War. There was a hiatus in the music industry during Vietnam's renovation period, but beginning in 1995, V-pop became popular again.
Rạt rào dưới ánh nắng ngọt ngào làm cho con tim trong tôi thấy vui hơn. Thiên đường như diệu kỳ bên cạnh ta là gì? Là tình yêu hay đam mê đang cháy bỏng? Chẳng biết ai đến.
That song, called To Lom, is a good example of what a typical V-pop song sounds like. Vietnam's access to the internet is fairly good, with 44% of the population having access to internet compared to the average 42%. 31% of the population has social media accounts, and an average user is on his or her social media account for an average of 3.1 hours per day. This is slightly higher than the world average of 2.4 hours per day. Vietnam's government has imposed a censor on internet material that they feel is subversive, as well as some social media. For instance, in 2009, it was rumored that the Vietnamese government banned Facebook. However, this was never confirmed, and Facebook can still be accessed through second-party websites like facebookviet.com. Vietnam consists of 54 ethnicities, with 87% of the population being Kin or otherwise known as Viet. Other populous ethnic groups include Tay, Thai, Muong, Hoa, Khmer, and Nung. Along with these ethnic groups, Vietnam has a large Chinese population due to its history with the Chinese. One centripetal force between the ethnicities in Vietnam is their language. Roughly 86.7% of the population speak Vietnamese, making it the dominant language. Vietnamese falls into the Austroasiatic family, and more specifically, the Viet Muong branch. Vietnamese can be split into 3 main dialects, including Hanoi, found in northern Vietnam, Hue, found in central Vietnam, and Saigon, found in southern Vietnam. Vietnamese is Vietnam's official language, which means all schools are taught in Vietnamese and all official documents are written in it. Catholic missionaries created a Roman script for the Vietnamese language in the 17th century, and it is still used today. In addition to Vietnamese, English is mandatory in primary schools. However, not many people are actually proficient in it. Here's how to greet people in Vietnamese.
Hello in Vietnamese is pronounced chào. One more time, chào. You would then ask, how are you? How are you in Vietnamese is pronounced dạ, khỏe không? One more time, dạ, khỏe không? You would then address yourself by saying, my name is. My name is in Vietnamese is pronounced tên tôi là. One more time, tên tôi là.
There are multiple extremely small languages spoken in Vietnam that are endangered, but the only severely endangered language is RM, which is spoken near the Laos-Vietnam border. As of 1996, the most recently recorded data, there were only 40 native speakers. Vietnam's religion is a very important aspect of its culture and has been influenced by Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. The majority of Vietnamese practice Buddhism, a universalizing religion. There are two main branches, Theravada and Mahayana. However, most Vietnamese are Mahayana Buddhists. While most Vietnamese practice Buddhism, not all of them actively participate in rituals. Buddhist temples are very prevalent throughout Vietnam, and their architecture affects Vietnam's landscape. Confucianism, an ethnic religion that resembles a philosophy rather than a religion, is less practiced than Buddhism is, but it still affects Vietnamese culture. Both filial piety and loyalty to society are important aspects of Confucianism. The third prevalent religion, Taoism, was founded by Lao Tse. Similarly to Confucianism, Taoism resembles a religious philosophy. Taoists live ascetic lives in order to maintain harmony. Vietnamese are attracted to Taoism due to its mystic aspect. Christianity is present in Vietnam, however it makes up only 4% of the population. Since all three religions have harmony as one of their main components, it has never acted as a centrifugal force. In general, the Vietnam are very religiously tolerant. The only religious division that has occurred has been the persecution of Christianity.